Hey everybody, what's up? It's Andrew Castro, and today we're doing something different. We're taking a look at this fun little 9-hole challenge. It is the Gremlin Challenge at Huntington Beach Disc Golf Course. I don't know if you guys have ever had a chance to throw one of these things, but it's an out-of-production mold from Discmania. Used to be in Innova's lineup as well. Funky disc. We're going to have these guys throw that disc off the tee. They can use it if they want to afterwards. They're allowed to bring a couple putters. But yeah, guys, let's take a look at who we're going to be watching today. Alright, we got Jacob Courtis here, also known as Cupcake. Young gun here out of SoCal. This kid can bomb it, so he's going to be fun to watch. We got a local Huntington Beach course pro here, Tommy Eckmann. It's always fun to watch. Some of you guys might know him from his getting around on the tour circuit. We got Bert here, Bert McIntee from Huntington Beach. This guy can rip it, sponsored by Prodigy. It'll be fun to watch him throw. And we got Andrew Sharp here, another local from Huntington Beach. This card is pretty much all locals, so it'll be fun to watch these guys throw this disc. Alright, hole one here, we got Bert off the tee. Looks like he's lining up for the backhand line. Little turnover here. And it stables out on him. You can hear Tommy in the background saying, "It's stable, bro." Tommy coming up here. Looks like he's going to go for the sidearm. Both of those shots are typical of what you would see on hole one here. Tommy sends that one and it just hits the planter fence there and goes inside, actually, which is
that really
unfortunate. So we'll see Jacob here off the tee going for the sidearm as well. Getting a nice little flex to flat on it, and it clips the tree there, which is a bummer. We're going to have Andrew Sharp here. It looks like he's doing the same thing, lining up for the sidearm, so we'll see what he gets. And it flips, gets a little flat, but he's out there, so not too bad. We get to look at Tommy's ridiculous lie here in the fence. He can't believe it. I think later on he told me he's never been in that fence before, so new experience here with the Gremlin. And it's super windy here today, so this will also be really fun. And Tommy's shot just gets over flat and goes straight on him. Wind didn't help out. We got Jacob here. Looks like he's thinking about running this for the two. He almost gets it, drops a little bit. That's okay. It's a tap in from there. Got Tommy trying to save this par from far away. A little bit of a death putt. And it drops and just stays on the edge of that hill. Got Bert with the same look. Almost, and it just drops as well. Got Sharp going to run this as well. Let's see what he gets. Bangs that putt. Great two. Tommy coming back here. Getting the putt for the four. Got Jacob getting ready to just tap this one out. And it just spits that one out, actually, which is super lame. And Bert tapping in there as well. We got hole one done there. A couple of boats to start off. That's unfortunate. But we got Sharp with the bird, so that's good. Going into hole two. This is a nice little hyzer shot that plays on a hillside, so we'll see if some of these guys can get that stroke back. We got Sharp going up there. Looks like a good shot. You see Bert do the same. Looks good. What you're hoping for here is on this hyzer shot is you don't want the roll away. So the shot's easy to get up over there onto that hillside. It's just depending on how drastic that hyzer is, your disc can roll away and you end up coming back up the hill. There's a lot of wind also off that hill. There's a lake down there, a little pond that adds to that wind. We got Jacob trying to get this one. Just sending it a little bit too far. Got Tommy looking at this one. for 2 and gets it. That's a great putt there. Got Sharp with a birdie look here. Let's see if he can get this. Oh, just a little low, and that little beam kind of saved him too for maybe going down a little farther than he might have wanted to. We got Jacob looking to make this comebacker here for the par. Hits it. It's awesome. And we got Bert for 2. Great putt there as well. And a tap out from Sharp. Hole 2 is done there. Got a couple of birds. Everyone else got par, so not too bad. Hole 3 at Huntington is a little bit more wooded, so this will be fun to see how these guys adjust with this Gremlin. Should be interesting. Bert here looks like he's still going for the sidearm. Looks good, and he clips a tree, keeps him on that path. So there's a Mando here. You can see the little arrow pointing to the left. Stay left of the tree. Kind of want to get through on the path, and the basket sits on a hillside just past those trees. Tommy gets his to go a little straight. A little straight. There is a gap there, so that's good. We'll see where he ends up. And we got Sharp lining up as well here. And that goes straight through. Hopefully he gets a good look. Ooh. And we got Jacob here. Looks like he's going to line up for the sidearm as well. Hits the Mando tree, but gets left, so that's a little bit of a lucky hit there. So the basket sits behind those trees on the side of the hill. He looks like he's going to try to get up on a sidearm. It hits the hillside, and he's just still on top of the shelf. You can see the basket here. Bert looking to do the same thing with the sidearm. Clears all of it and maybe gets down a little bit too far. So we got Sharp looking to putt through the trees, maybe give it a run, and it just gets down low and luckily doesn't roll anywhere. So we got Jacob looking to run this for a par save. This is a tricky putt, so sends it out there and it stays a little right. Yeah, Tommy looking to try to cash in on this birdie. Hangs a little bit to the right and bounces off the chains. That's unfortunate. We got Bert. Save this here, save this par. It's a little tricky. And he clips that branch and it just drops him down. We got Jacob. This is for bogey. And that's a good save. Tommy making sure that goes in. Bert and Sharp tapping out here. At the end of hole 3, we got a couple of bogeys here, which is kind of typical for that hole. It can go either way. You can get the bird, you can get the bogey, who knows. It's tricky. Going into hole 4, this is a dog leg right. There's a Mando right there. It's either the big turnover, which is what Tommy's doing, clips the tree. So there's a big turnover shot, or you go low and underneath that branch and kind of ride the hill. Sharp's looking to stay low and he misses the gap, but he's down there. He didn't hit any trees or anything, so we got Bert here doing the same. Kind of clips a branch and it kicks him out a little bit over to the left, I think, and then got Jacob going for the roller and it flips over a little bit too fast. Unconventional, but I've seen that work. It's a slick shot. We got Tommy trying to cut this. This is hard. And it goes and it just pops over to the right. And Tommy's just laughing about that, and so is everyone else on the card. Here's Bert. Side of the hill. With a nice upshot. Got Sharp right here, looking straight at it. It's a little high and left, but looks like he's getting the nice roll towards the basket, so not too bad. Here's Jacob just kind of pitching that one over there. There goes Tommy for a big save. And just misses it. I'm just staring at that one. Everyone else here is going to tap out for par, I believe. So Jacob and Bert will tap out for par. Jacob just making sure that one goes in. And Tommy will tap out for the bogey. Hole 4. Sometimes it can be tricky in that long position. Alright, going into hole 5. This is a nice little tunnel shot that is kind of fun. So mid-ranges, you can kind of peer this or play the skip shot up the path. You see some other tricky stuff, but Sharp looks like he's trying to go for the gap and gets a little bit to the left. As he kick backed out to the middle. Bert's also trying the gap. Gets a little kick back and forth, but gets up the hill. Jacob here looks like he's going for the sidearm shot. Tries to flex it and it rides a little high, but he somehow ends up in the gap, so that's not too bad. A little par save, maybe a run out of 2. Tommy looks like he's going to try some trickery with this forehand roller. That just flipped over on him. He's just laughing at that. That's tough. There goes Sharp. Going right at it. And he gets over to the right a little bit, but that's okay. Should be an easy 3. Got Tommy trying to save this. Trying to get through this jail here. And that just hits another tree and knocks it over off to the left for some more jail. Got Jacob. The long putt, but you can make these from down here, so. Gives it a run, and it's just a little long. He's talking about it. He thought it was in. It's Tommy with another save for it, and it just gets over to the left. Bert trying to get that birdie, and that bounces off the top of the cage. Tommy coming back with a nice putt for the bogey save, I believe. So we got Jacob tapping out. Everyone else tapping out for par here. Bert with a big step back putt there. Alright, going into hole 6 here. We just had one bogey there, but going into hole 6, it's a little dogleg left up the hill. It's in a short position, so this should hopefully be, for some of these guys, a way to come back and score off this. We got Sharp getting it a little flat, but he skips up the hill. Bert looking to take a hyzer, and it gets an interesting air bounce, and he clips the tree. Now Cupcake's lining up for this weird unconventional shot. It's a big turnover, and tries to get it, and it just doesn't do it. And they're just laughing. It looks like it just fades down the hill. He has to go kind of see where that went. And Tommy's laughing because he's telling everyone that he convinced Jacob to throw that line. I've seen it done, but it's, yeah. With the Gremlin in the wind today, that would have been a shot. There's Tommy. Throwing one over there on a hyzer, and it gets up and over, and he's stoked about that. Here's Jacob trying to, so he's down over by the tee pad at 5, and he's looking to throw another big shot over these
big eucalyptus trees, crossing the fairway of 4 and getting back up on the hill by the basket. So he's going for it. And he gets the height that looks like it's turning, and it clips a branch somewhere over on the other side, you think. But he ends up right here, which isn't too bad. He's on the fairway of 4. He chips it back up over on the other side of the hill, and not too bad of a setup there. Bert throws a little sidearm to get up on the basket. And here's Jacob talking about he threw a shot.
But there was a gap.
And they're just going on about his shot here. The iron leaf, Jacob says. Got Sharp thinking about running this. Pops it high and it's fading and it's just misses. Almost gave that one a solid 2. Here's Tommy going for the 2 and just pops up and goes straight. Tommy making the comeback, and he gets that. Sharp going and making the comeback for 3. Everyone else is going to tap out here. And Jacob with the bogey, which isn't too bad considering where he ended up, and everyone else going out with the par, so not too bad with the crazy shot, and still salvaging just a bogey out of that. Going into hole 7, this is a straightforward shot. There is a double Mando. Bert's flexing to get over on this to try to send it over the top. And it gasses out, but he clears the trees and fades out just on the other side of the Mando. So we got Tommy throwing. This looks like a good shot, but it's a little high, so it gets clipped by the trees here. And it drops down. And we have Jacob throwing. Andrew Sharp already threw. There was an issue with the camera, so we didn't get it. So that's why you might notice a switch up on the order there. But here is Jacob. Looked like a really good shot if it just got flat, but he got through the Mandos. He's up there. Tommy saying he's trying to get the skip in with the Gremlin here, so he's going for it. Runs it low and it skips, and it's not stable enough, and maybe the wind was there, but it just popped up straight, and he's just having a good time out here laughing about this disc. Got Sharp running it long and missing it, but it's close enough to save that 3. Got Jacob here trying to get the bird, and he misses that. He's wiggling around about it. Tommy trying to save that par, and that wind just came down and knocked it out of the sky. Stupid wind. And we got Sharp getting the putt, Jacob getting the putt, and these guys are going to tap out over here as well. Jacob giving a shout out to Team Innova. We got Tommy tapping out for the 3 or the 4 actually, and Bert with the stylish step back for the par save. Alright, so just one bogey on that hole. We're going into hole 8, which is another longer shot, but a little straightforward. It is a nice kind of straight, long distance shot. This hole has a lot of wind, coincidentally, while they decide to throw, so this should be fun. We got Sharp throwing, and it just flips up flat nicely, and that's down there, giving the basket a scare a little bit, maybe a little short. Got Bert lining up here, hitting the same way, and this is just flipping up to straight, fading out right before the basket, pin high probably. Got Jacob going over there, ripping one. And that just doesn't flip over flat, so he's just hollering at the guys at the tee pad of 7, almost taking out one of the locals' pad. Tommy. Tommy's just throwing that one over as well. And that's just going straight at the basket. That wind is just ridiculous right now, too. Jacob just pitching up here just to get the par. We got Sharp looking at it. Getting the 2. That's a big putt. There's a hill behind that you can drop down to. Bert just going riding high in that wind. He does not look happy about that at all. Got Jacob, tapping in for that 3 and almost missing. Everyone else just kind of tapping out here on this hole. So we got Tommy with the 2, Sharp with the 2. That feels good to get on this hole with the Gremlin. Going into the last hole, hole 9. This is also a pretty straightforward hole. There's a double Mando, so the trick is not to get this thing to flip flat, but you want to get through. The basket is just behind that lone eucalyptus is standing straight up there, kind of in the center of these Mandos. Got Tommy sending one. It pops a little high. He doesn't really like the way that looks, and as it comes down and spikes out over off to the left. We got Bert lining up for a shot here. The wind's howling, and he gets this. It flips a little flat in that wind, really close to the Mando over there off to the right, so he doesn't really like the way that looks. Got Jacob ripping one, and that just flips up to flat in the wind and gets down over there.
Pat says safe.
So we run into a wild selfie Pat who was saying it was safe. Bert checks it out for himself. Lines it up, and he's inside that red line, so that's good. He's looking for a run for maybe a 2, and it just sails a little long there. And he doesn't like that either. He doesn't like this disc. There goes Tommy trying to get it, and it just tails off a little bit. We got Sharp looking at this from deep and gets that birdie on the last hole. Way to finish with a big putt. We got Jacob here, pin high for the 2. But that wind just carries it a little high, and he just doesn't like that either. Bert trying to pop it straight, and it just, that wind doesn't give it a chance. Tommy with the Gremlin putt, and it sails high, and he's just cracking up about this disc. Everyone in the end was just laughing about this disc, its performance, how it feels, having a good time trying to throw ridiculous shots. So a lot of fun, a lot of smiles and laughs and jokes. Bert just effortlessly tossing that in. And there we go, 9-hole challenge with a Gremlin off the tee. We got a couple of guys, Jacob and Tommy finishing at 3 over, Bert finishing at 1 over, and Sharp finishing at 3 down, making it look easy. This was super fun to film with these guys. It was a great time. Hopefully you guys had a good time watching it. Anyways, thanks for checking out this footage. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more of this out. If you guys liked it, please subscribe, like the video, comment below. And yeah, comment below with some ideas of some more 9-hole challenges or whatever crafty ideas we can think of, and we'll see if I can find some people who will want to participate in it. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, and go play some disc golf. See ya.
And,
What's your thoughts about the Gremlin, Tommy?
I wasn't too big of a fan of it. I think the rim's a little too shallow on it. And maybe if it was a little thicker rim on it, I would throw it. But shallow rim, I'm not a real big fan of.
Cupcake, what do you think about this Gremlin?
It's a good dish. I've thrown it before, but like, I think it's like, it just flew different because like the wind. But it flies stable like a Firebird, and then like fly like dead straight like a Mako. It's weird.
I liked it, but there's a lot of newer mid-ranges out there that can do a lot of the same things.